start. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanam Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhetamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Deva Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Samasta Jana Kalyane Nidatam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadguru Brahma Vidyam. So our topic for today is mindfulness. Mindfulness in the recent times has become a very key word. And many people actually think mindfulness is a practice which has originated in Buddhism. It may have many applications in Buddhism, and maybe extensively they have practiced it and evolved methods to increase mindfulness. But it has been there in our culture from Vedic times, a long time. Not known through that word mindfulness. So, in the Gita, the Lord says, a mind which is mindful is our best friend. A mind which is not mindful is our worst enemy. The 6th chapter of the Gita says that. In our culture, in Vedanta especially, the word for mindfulness is chitta ekagrata, single pointedness of the mind. Now, what is the mind? Before we go into mindfulness, what exactly is the mind? So, a continuous flow of thoughts is called as the mind. And this flow of thoughts is just like the flow of water is called as the river. So, flow of thoughts is the mind. And so, what is necessary to understand here is that mindfulness is not something where we try to empty the mind of all thoughts. Because the nature of mind is thoughts and the flow of thoughts. Mindfulness is being aware of that flow of thoughts. It is not trying to control the flow of thoughts. It is not trying to change the flow of thoughts. It is not trying to stop the flow of thoughts. Mindfulness literally means to be aware. And so, this definition of mind is very necessary to understand. That mind is a continuous flow of thoughts, and it will go on. Sometimes the flow will be less, sometimes the flow will be more. Sometimes the quality of that thoughts may be very positive, inspired. Sometimes it may be negative. So the quality of thoughts, quantity of thoughts, and then the direction, whether it is extroverted all the time or whether we are able to turn it within when we want to. Mindfulness is to be aware of what is happening in the mind. This understanding of mindfulness is important. Otherwise, we think to control, to stop, to change, all that is mindfulness. Generally, our mind is full of thoughts. So, whether we are mindful or mind is full is something to think about. Even if mind is full, I can be actually mindful. But generally, when mind is full of so many thoughts, I am not mindful of them. I am lost in them. And hence, this practice of mindfulness is very nice for a spiritual seeker. Before we go into what exactly is mindfulness, what mindfulness is not, we have to understand. Mindfulness is not doing everything slowly. There are some people who think like that. They'll start eating slowly, walking slowly, talking slowly. What are you doing? I'm doing everything mindfully. It's not just that doing slowly. You may start so that if we're doing everything fast, generally I'm not aware, I'm not mindful. So slowing down definitely helps to increase mindfulness. But mindfulness does not mean doing everything slowly. Doing things slowly can be a means to increase my mindfulness. It does not mean a blank mind. It does not mean a mind which is just practicing relaxation, letting go of certain thoughts. It does not mean a certain focal point of concentration. That I concentrate on something and leave out everything else. Mindfulness is in fact the opposite. Concentration is exclusive, one. So suppose I am sitting here and I can concentrate, let us say, on the projector. So when I concentrate properly on the projector, everything else goes away from my thoughts, from my focus. Only projector remains. That is concentration. Mindfulness is being aware of everything. Externally, internally, everything. So it is not concentration, nor it is some state of trance where the mind has become absorbed. Nor it is becoming emotionless. Some people think that when I am not mindful, emotions are rising in the mind and I get overwhelmed by them. So mindfulness means being emotionless. Or even if emotions arise, I don't encourage them. Mindfulness is not that. And mindfulness is definitely not withdrawing from life. That leave everything so that if I feel that my actions, my duties, my work, all that is creating disturbance in my mindfulness, my mind is very disturbed because of that. So let me withdraw from everything. Maybe one or two things I will do. That is not mindfulness. So mindfulness exactly means what? It is to bring the mind where the hands are. To be here and now. And to be here and now is not an exclusive practice. I don't have to do something special for that. I have to only bring my mind here, into the present, now. And so complete awareness of the present, external and internal. Internal is also very important. In fact, it is more important. Many people think about mindfulness only in terms of an external practice. That I am doing something mindfully, I am walking, I am talking, I am listening, I am writing. So it is not only an external practice. Being aware what I am going through right now, at this moment. My thoughts, my feelings, my breathing, everything. Internally how I am feeling, what I am going through, externally what is happening. Both these to be aware, that is one aspect of mindfulness. Second aspect is with acceptance and trust. This is a technical definition of mindfulness. That whatever is happening, I am able to accept. We had done that whole session on acceptance, so I will not go more into the details. But when we learn to accept things as they are, then only we can be in the now. Non-acceptance makes us go either into the past or into the future. So mindfulness is the awareness of the present moment with complete acceptance that okay, at this moment this is the situation. So if you feel that the AC is not working enough and it is warm, then to be aware that it is warm is mindfulness. And then to accept it, okay, this is the situation now. Once you accept it, then next what needs to be done, you can tell somebody, okay, can you please reduce the temperature, let it become more cool, whatever. Acceptance will not mean that I will not do anything about it, but acceptance will make me fully aware of the thing now as it is. If I am not able to accept it, I will be able to have only partial awareness of what is happening. Rest of my mind is fighting with what is, based on either some past experience or some future expectation. So complete acceptance of the present moment and trust. Acceptance will come when there is trust that if this is happening right now, there must be a reason for it. If these two qualities come, acceptance and trust, then mindfulness will happen. When acceptance and trust is not there, we are not mindful. So we are not even able to handle the problem or handle the situation, being aware of it fully. The mind just goes past or future. So this is one definition. And in the simplest meaning, mindfulness means being aware of what you are doing while you are doing it. And in that, if you can bring full awareness to it, that's all mindfulness is. So it is something which can be practiced every minute in our life. It is not an exclusive practice of 10 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day. Throughout the day I can practice, and that's why when people ask, tell us something to practice, mindfulness is a practice which I can keep doing throughout. Right now you can be listening mindfully, full mind here in the present. Being aware of what is being said, understanding, grasping, not allowing the mind to wander, feeling what is the energy in this room, everything. Then you are being fully mindful now. Hence we say that there are three different aspects to this mindfulness. It means being aware that you are doing some action level, breathing, walking, talking, listening, writing, sitting. Being fully aware of that action. Generally we are not fully aware. Especially these simple actions. Because we feel there's nothing to be aware in that. There's nothing interesting in that. So the mind wanders. Mindful person will be aware completely of simple actions of life. So if one is talking, one is fully aware of the way one is talking, how thoughts are being formed, how the voice is being used, what kind of words are being used, what impact it is having on people, everything. If one is walking, one is aware. Typically we are not mindful in the street when we are walking. There are so many trees, there is nice breeze, there are birds chirping, and there is sunrise happening, or so many things are happening. But we are not aware of all that, lost in our thoughts. And then we need CD, nature CD. Put on that CD of birds chirping. Naturally only it is happening, day to day life. Nothing wrong if you use any of those CDs, but I'm just saying that how much are we aware? So, being aware of the simple actions, one. Two, being aware of the thoughts. What are the thoughts that are going on? And if my mind has gone away, bring them back not only to the thoughts, even to the action. And being aware of the feeling. To just notice the emotion as it is. If there is anger arising, I should just notice that. Mindfulness does not mean that I will control it, I will change it, I will stop it. Nothing. Be only aware. In our culture, it has been also called as Sakshi Bhav. Be aware. Just be aware. Literally, Aksha means to see. Aksha means eyes. Sakshi means one who sees. Non-judgmental. Being able to see without getting attached and without getting affected. If I am just able to be aware, that is mindfulness. So these four aspects I should be mindful of. My actions, my thoughts, my emotions, and what that situation is doing to me and what is my response. Right now, if you are listening to me, What is this doing to you? Are you understanding, not understanding? What is the response? Being aware of the response. Being aware of the thoughts, emotions, actions, and the response. Typically in our life, what happens is, our awareness is more at the action level. When some event has happened, thoughts are arising, feelings are arising, we are partially aware of those, and what that is pushing me to do, the action, more of my attention is on the action level. So I am not fully aware of what I am feeling while I am feeling. Mindfulness is to be aware of what I am feeling while I am feeling. Generally, we only become aware of what I am feeling and why I am feeling that after that whole emotion is gone. Then one realizes, oh, this is what happened to me. When somebody said something to me, why did I get so angry? It appeared that that person said something which made me angry, but actually it is some incident of the past because of which I had a conditioning and I got angry. At that moment, I don't know any of this. Or when I see something and I instantly develop a liking for it. Again, at that moment, I don't know why that is happening. Because my awareness is not full. That's how they say that because of the unconscious mind, our choices in our life mainly are determined by our subconscious and unconscious mind. Conscious mind hardly decides anything. Intellect is there in the conscious waking state. But the decision making typically happens more influenced by subconscious and unconscious. A person who is mindful of that subconscious. How my subconscious is affecting my conscious. I should know that. What are those factors because of which I am responding in a way in which I am responding? That awareness is called mindfulness. Which means that I will be aware at that moment why I am going through that. Otherwise, it's very difficult. Generally, we go through life mostly what we call as retrospect. Retrospect is a word, no? Thinking about the past. After that experience is over, then I am thinking about it, and then I am understanding this is what I am going through, this is what happened to me. So we can say our life is generally on autopilot. Just going on. Mindfulness is every moment I will be aware of why I am going through what I am going through. So in the Gita, when Arjuna asks the Lord that my mind is very, very fickle, chanchalam hi mana Krishna. Pramathi, it is very impulsive. Balavat, it gets attached very easily. And Dridham, it is very unyielding. Even if I try to bring it away from something, again it goes and gets attached. These four are the typical aspects of the mind, and all these four happen because of lack of mindfulness. Why? Because so much of subconscious and unconscious is influencing me that even if I know that I should not be angry, I should not have agitations, I should not be selfish, I should be doing this, I should get up early to do my exercise, I may know everything, what to do and what not to do. But the awareness level is so low of what is happening in my subconscious and unconscious that when I get up in the morning, my subconscious is influencing me, my awareness is not enough. So the conscious mind becomes a victim of that, subconscious forces. Whether it is laziness or love of sleep or fatigue or tiredness or stress, any of these factors. Because of which even if I know I should get up early, I am not able to get up early. So slowly, as I increase my mindfulness through the day and become more and more aware of the subconscious and unconscious forces. How will I become aware of those? When I start bringing my mind into the conscious state more and more into the present. So it is not trying to control the subconscious or the unconscious, but it is trying to bring the mind more and more into the conscious state now, which will make me aware of the subconscious factors. That's all. And that person who becomes more and more aware of the subconscious forces gets mastery over the mind. Because now I know why I feel the way I feel, why I respond the way I respond, what are those conditionings in my mind. Even to that extent that what kind of words I am very sensitive to. Sometimes each of us have certain words, they are called trigger words. That word has to be used and the person will flare up. That word may not mean anything, it may not mean that much, by the person who is using it. But the mind is like that. It is conditioned. Like a simple question. Nowadays many people ask, the moment they call, they'll ask, where are you? It's just a normal question to know where you are. But if somebody's mind is very loaded, that person will feel, I am being suspected. Why do they want to know where am I? Wherever I am is my field. The mind is very loaded, conditioned. And many times one is not aware of those. Sometimes people use the word. Earlier days it was little difficult for parents. Now it's very easy. Earlier days, a few years back, nobody called the parents as pop and mom. They were always called as papa or mommy or something like that. But then slowly they started calling pop, mom, all that. So for some of the parents it is very difficult. They feel that our culture is going. Because that's the conditioning. Earlier the parents the child will not tell the parent that just chill. Nowadays the children tell, just chill mom. So the mind, if it is not aware of the impact that these things have, it will feel sad, it will react, it will do so many things. Mindfulness is to be aware of what my mind is going through. It is very simple to just be mindful, to be aware, and it is possible for us. So in the Gita, when the Lord says, practice and detachment, abhyasena to kaunteya vairagyena cha grihyate. That practice that he refers to, actually Shankaracharya gives some definition of that practice, which is actually mindfulness. He says, bring the mind to the state of single pointedness and make it fully aware of the now. And it is not only a technique of bringing the mind into the now, it is also a lot of attitudinal change. Detachment has to come in. Objectivity has to come in. Then mindfulness will increase. That's why those two aspects about acceptance and trust, they play a big role in mindfulness. It's not only a technique of being aware of now, what is happening now. It's a lot of psychological training also, which is attitudinal shift. Today in the corporate world, a lot of these companies are using mindfulness for the employees to become mindful of what they are going through, because they now know that an individual is a whole, complete. So if emotionally the individual is disturbed in home, performance will get affected in the work. Personal life, if there is some stress, worry, it will affect the performance. Health is not good, it will affect the performance. Social image will affect the performance. So how does the employee become more and more mindful of his or her own personality, what he or she is going through? And also, when one's own mindfulness increases, our sensitivity towards other people also increases. So teamwork, understanding the customers, understanding other members in the company, all that is very important. So nowadays they include small practices for mindfulness, whether it is breathing or yoga or quiet time or so many things they introduce. So for today, just to give you a little glimpse, the mindfulness is a huge topic. One can go on doing a lot of things. So we are going to use this acronym called mindful, and this will give you some points about mindfulness. Each of them one can do in detail many things. Last year we had a whole camp for 4 days on mindfulness. in our center at Chinmay Vibhuti. This year also we have. But this year we have for 2 days, August 14th to 16th. 14th afternoon to 16th afternoon, 2 days. Because then one can do lots of practices of mindfulness. Then you can take it back home and keep applying that. So this is the acronym. Moment to moment awareness, integration of the body, mind, intellect, non-judgment and newness, detachment and acceptance, a focus tool, understanding oneself more and more, and love and compassion. Just a simple acronym of mindfulness. So in moment to moment awareness, if you can just take half a minute off just now, off meaning just take half a minute and be aware of what you are going through this moment. Not thinking about it. What are you going through at this moment? You should just be aware. If anybody wants to share, you are welcome to share. Yeah.
Actually, I wanted to ask a question. When you were going on and on, so I felt a bit of uneasiness that when is the break going to come so that I can ask a question? So that was the when I felt inside something pure, something not easy. So if you allow me, I can ask a question. So if you are focusing on something very deeply, you're doing research or you're doing something deep, at that time when you're applying mindfulness, the question is there, does the intensity not reduce apparently when you're saying apply this?
No, mindfulness is not against concentration. Concentration is a part of mindfulness. Mindfully, you are applying yourself fully to that one job. So then intensity will increase. Because the definition of mindfulness is bring your mind where your hands are. Fully.
The duality of your mind, one is doing the thing and somewhere you're watching yourself.
That is not a duality, that is a part of our personality, whether we like it or not. When we are not mindful, we are not even aware that there is a witnessing personality in my witnessing aspect in my personality. Whether we know it or not, it is there. And lucky it is there. Because if that witnessing aspect is not there, we would just be completely carried away by emotions and we would not be able to step back. There is one aspect which can completely detach from what is happening, which is the witness in me. When I am not aware of that aspect, I am getting lost more and more. So when I am focusing, the witness will just notice that it is focusing, mind is focusing right now. It will not stop me from focusing. It will not reduce my intensity. It will actually enhance that. When I come to it, you will understand it. And I'll explain more about the acronym. You will know that. Anybody else? What you feel, not fabricated thought. You can be aware of the body, of the breathing, of the emotions, of the thoughts, everything. Just now what is happening, that's all. It doesn't have to be anything special, extraordinary, nothing. Yes. Okay. It's a lot of movement. But that is what you're feeling now.
Feel very relaxed. Feel like you open one side of chest and you see it waiting for each thing to come. Feel a lot of anticipation also.
So different things each one can feel. As our awareness increases, we will become aware of everything as a whole. Body level, breath level, emotion level, thought level, response level, all. not with these compartments. I'm saying this just so that we become aware that these are the things we can be aware of. But as the mindfulness increases, one will become aware of the whole. And it will be moment to moment. Like how many of us are aware consciously of the posture in which we are sitting right now? Are we consciously aware of that? Where is my leg? Is my leg crossing each other? Is my leg bent? Am I sitting erect? Is there a pain in any part of the body? How is the breathing? Am I feeling warm, cold? What is the emotion going through? Everything as one whole we can feel. It's up to us how we increase our mindfulness. So moment to moment I can be aware that what am I going through. In psychology there is one practice called centering. Centering or grounding. So they will use some support to ground oneself. Otherwise the mind goes on. It keeps hallucinating or keeps getting lost in thoughts. One has to ground oneself. It means come to the now. Using a breath, using a picture, anything. One has to just use something to ground oneself to come back into the present. And the more and more I come back into the present and become aware of what I am going through, the more I become aware of my own personality. Like mindfully you observe something. Suppose you are walking on the, or even generally, if you observe something, how do we generally observe it? We immediately label it, brand it, categorize it, and it's over after that. I am no more seeing that. Suppose I see a flower. Suppose it's a rose. Now I will see the rose, brand it that this is a rose, it is red in color, and sometimes it smells very nicely. And maybe if I have some memory associated with it, that memory will come up. I have stopped looking at the rose after some point. Now I am only handling it in my thoughts. Mindful observation. I am just giving you one example here. In this moment to moment awareness, we do a lot of exercises. Mindful observation, mindful walking, mindful talking, mindful listening, everything. If you just imagine how much our awareness will increase if I am fully here. Even right now, if you are listening, is every thought being heard as it is? Or the moment the thought is being heard, there is a processing, there is a judgment, there is an evaluation, and I have lost another two thoughts. It is falling on my ears, but mind is not receiving it. So when I see something, I see, and after a few seconds I disconnect immediately, though eyes are seeing it. This is what happens to us in relationships. When I look at somebody, I bring up my past conditionings. I ask them, how are you? And the moment I ask them, how are you? And they say one or two sentences, I may have switched off also. In a day, if you are meeting a person 4 times, every time one says, hi, how are you? How are you feeling now? Sometimes we are open to listening full time, everything. Sometimes we are not open. We are just asking one or two lines they have said, mind has switched off. So in relationships also we do that. With things that we have around, we do that. Even when you are watching a TV, reading a newspaper, talking to somebody, one of the reasons why so much of mental energy goes in doing simple things is because mindfulness is not enough. That's why one psychologist, he said that if I have to devote my life to something, I will devote my life to the training of human attention. Billions of dollars are lost only because the mindfulness is not there. How carelessly one does so many things, and then loss happens. 100% scope of spontaneity in mindfulness. Because mindfulness is not conditioning the mind not to do this only. At this moment, if I am fully aware that this is what is happening, my response can be very spontaneous.
That's if you want to train your mind. For us, this is going to be an unnatural process for us to train your mind to think like that. Then as spontaneity will also
No. What is the training? The training is not telling you not to do something. The training is only telling you be aware of what you are feeling. So if I look at a rose and I am feeling, let us say I remember my beloved and I am lost in that, I tell my mind, no, come back to this. So the more I see the rose as it is, my response will be more spontaneous to the rose now. But the more I disconnect from it and get lost in my memory, my spontaneity is already gone. So mindfulness is the key for spontaneity, not the conditioned response which generally we give. That takes away my spontaneity. And it doesn't mean that I don't remember. If I see a rose and I remember something nice, no problem. But did that make me lost completely, that I have lost connect with the rose now? That is important. And I can think consciously about the memory and bring the mind back and be aware of this fully. Otherwise, you are more impulsive, you are more in the past. That's what happens.
Why is mindfulness so important?
You will see as you go through. Because if without mindfulness, I am not in the now. I am in the past, I am in the future, I am lost somewhere. And I can't effectively deal with people as they are now. I can't effectively deal with myself as I am now. I can't respond appropriately to the situation. One of the main reasons why mindfulness is required also is if you want to have efficiency at work, harmony in relationships, if I want to have more control in my personality, enjoyment also. If you are eating an ice cream, you will experience now. I don't have ice cream, but I brought something for you. Some badam I brought. When you are eating something, if the mindfulness is not there, how often do we actually enjoy everything? Suppose I love a particular cake. The moment I get that cake and I am eating one or two pieces, I am lost in something else now. Now no more am I enjoying that cake. But if I am mindful, my enjoyment will be complete. I will not be disconnected from it. The reason why we don't feel fully satisfied even after we get what we want is because we are not there to enjoy it. It has just temporarily made my mind quiet. The disturbance which was there, it got become quiet. And I was jumped to the next desire. So mindfulness actually is something which is a key for experiencing life fully. And obviously it is a key for knowing one's own true self. There's only a mind which is mindful will be a mind which can transcend itself. And mind which is not mindful can never transcend itself. It will be stuck inside itself. So when I look at something, see, if you cannot do this throughout the day, sometime in a day one must try. Few minutes. Like a very nice exercise is to actually, like I used to do that for a long time, that if there is a sunrise happening, do I actually see the sunrise as it is? The moment the mind doesn't see the moment and it is lost, you bring it back. Moment by moment, are you able to see the sunrise happening? Generally, we see the sunrise, that is, it has come from here to here. Then we are lost in thoughts. By the time we come back, it is already here. So, some such support I need to use. Whether it is a bird chirping, you just close your eyes and be mindful of whatever is happening around you. If you like to focus on one thing, you can focus. Let us say the sound of the AC. Moment by moment, can I be just aware of the sound of that AC? So, if I use that kind of a support and increase my mindfulness, just for 5 minutes, 10 minutes a day, the effects of it you will see through the day happening. It could be music, it could be sunrise, it could be anything. One support one has to use and watch it without interfering, without any other thoughts interfering. So that is one. First aspect is moment to moment awareness. Second aspect is the integration of the body, mind and the intellect. Mindfulness is to bring all the three together. When I am not mindful, I am not having the three together. Body is in one place, mind is somewhere else, intellect is somewhere else. Totally divided personality. Lot of energy we waste in that. So let us do a simple exercise. Can I have two volunteers? One from here, one from there. Quickly. Come. Come. So even you all can do the exercise you want mentally. What I am going to show you. And they will do it loudly. You have to see the screen. Now the exercise number 1 is you have to just read these words. Okay? Yeah, you can start.
Blue, red, yellow, green, purple, blue, green, yellow, purple, red, blue, yellow, red, purple, red, blue, yellow, red.
Bas, thank you. The next 3.
Blue, red, green, yellow, purple, blue, red, green, blue, yellow, purple, blue, yellow, green, red, purple, yellow.
Easy? Very easy, no? Now do the next one. Don't read what is written, read the color in which it is written. So you written blue but you have to say red. Red but you have to say violet. Yellow but you have to say blue. So you can start. First 3 rows.
Red, violet, blue, yellow, green, yellow, blue, red, green, blue, yellow, blue, violet, green, green, yellow, red, violet.
Very good. Next.
Yellow, green, purple, blue, red, green, purple, yellow, red, purple, green, blue, red, purple, blue, yellow, green, red.
Very good. Very well. Which was easier, first or second?
First.
First was easier. I mean the same speed in which you did the first one, now you try.
Difficult.
Try.
Okay. Red, purple, blue, yellow, green, blue.
Gone. Speed gone.
That's it. Oh, I can't get that speed.
You can't.
No, I mean by practice one will be able to do it, but the point of this exercise is exercise used for many different things. One of the reasons why we do this is the moment our body and the mind become separated, we waste more energy, we spend more time. It's more strenuous for the mind. Because now you are seeing something and the mind is also seeing that, but now you have to tell the mind, no, it is not this, it is something else. So there is a constant dichotomy between what you are seeing and what you have to tell yourself. When we are not mindful, that is what is happening. I am seeing something, I am seeing a rose, but my mind is processing something else only. It is not seeing the rose. It is gone now from there. So when this body, thank you, when this body, mind and intellect is not together, and just think about it, this has become our normal way of living. Hence, when I have to do something where body, mind, intellect is together, I find it very difficult. Otherwise, actually speaking, meditation is not supposed to be so difficult. Being focused is not very difficult. But why we are not able to do that? Because there is a division. In the body, mind and intellect, there is a disintegration. And so mindfulness is not just a technique to bring myself into the now. It is actually to integrate body, mind and intellect. And remind myself again and again to be fully present where I am. So last time I had spoken to you about this aspect about doing one thing at a time. In this topic about happiness when we spoke, that time we had discussed and I said I will do this in detail and I come here for this mindfulness. So doing one thing at a time is a very important practice for mindfulness. If I want to increase my mindfulness, I must learn to do one thing at a time. Anything less than one thing is just irresponsible. Irresponsible meaning I am not doing full justice to my personality, to that work, because I am dividing myself. So there is one exercise which you can do. Some of you may have done this earlier. Those of you who have not, please do. Distribute this. Keep this sheet in front of you, the first page, and don't start. It is mental concentration and information processing test. You will need a pen to do it. Everyone has? Then finish the exercise. So don't start now. Everybody has got? So you have to do this. The person who finishes it first will get a nice prize. So your time starts now. Write your name and date and start. If you are doing it, you should do what is written there. Don't feel shy. Just do it. To drop it. नहीं हुआ.
Thanks.
It's not.
You don't have to do anything in this.
I have written my name.
No, it's not done.
It's not
Not done yet. You have half a minute more.
By default, I had this.
Okay.
So
Then what happens?
but I don't have a pen, so I just write this in.
I don't know. What you want to do?
So I guess I'll leave it. I mean, assuming that it will pass out here.
No. Read it. Nobody has done it yet. You have still a chance. Come on. Not over. Over? Done? Sure. Sure. Not done, not done. Not at all. It's not done yet. Read properly. Now you are giving it away to everyone, but nobody has still done it.
I don't have any eraser. Only had to
No, but what are you supposed to do?
concentrate and then write it.
Why? But you are supposed to do now.
At the end of the day, no, it says read everything properly. Read
And quickly before writing anything. Before writing. So first you read, then you write. It doesn't say don't write. Before writing it says. It doesn't say don't write. Not done. Not done. Not done. That's why I'm saying everybody has done the same thing. It is not done.
Not done.
Majority of you have written pass, na? Not done. That's what 12 says. Let us see. So what does number 12 say here? So first of all, what does this say in the instructions?
Read completely and then.
Read everything
Yeah.
properly and quickly before writing anything. How many of us did that? Everything. No, you started doing actions. Did you read everything? All the 12. Before doing anything. So when you read the 12, what does it say?
Ignore everything.
It says ignore all the numbered instructions on this sheet except instruction 12 and write the letter pass into the boxes if empty. It's in bold also, if empty. Are the boxes empty? 1, 2, 3, 4 is written in the boxes. You are not supposed to write anything, do anything. Just give the paper as it is. Most of the places everybody does that. Just imagine I am doing one thing and even there my mind is not there fully. Now what is the justification of doing multitasking then? If in one thing my mind is not there fully and we are in a mindfulness workshop, how will my mind be there when I am doing multitasking? One more exercise you try. Simple one this is. Step number 1. You have to write numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 till 27. And after that you have to write the sentence multitasking is the greatest myth. And you have to time this. Start. Put the timer on and write 1 to 27 and multitasking is the greatest myth. And note how much time you take to finish these two. You will need a paper and pen. How many seconds? You have to take.
6
It can't be 6 seconds. It will be minimum 30 seconds.
seconds.
Yeah,
Yeah,
try.
6. I can give.
Try.
Yeah, 30 seconds. I can do 6.
What can?
Seconds
6
start.
means 30
30
seconds. That's what I'm saying.
30
Between 20 and 30 seconds, anybody will take to do this much. Arey, I told you 1, 2, 3, 4 till 27. I explained 1, 2, 3 till 27.
No, but that's not the exercise. That's not the exercise.
That's not the exercise. First exercise is that write 1 till 27, all the numbers, and below that you write multitasking is the greatest myth, and you time it. Done? How much time you took? 35? 25, 35, between that somebody will take. So those of you who have finished it, do the second exercise now. Second exercise is write one alphabet and one number. So write number 1 and then M, number 2 and U, number 3 and L, and time that. Same number, same sentence, but one number, one alphabet. One number, one alphabet.
Any other?
No,
Same order.
same order. You are writing again number 1 till 27 and the same sentence, multitasking is the greatest myth. But you are writing one number, one alphabet. You are not doing it one by one. You are alternating. And time that. Yeah. Same sentence you are forming, but just that one number, one alphabet. Same time? Not possible. It's not possible only to take same time. It will take longer time. That's what I'm telling you. You are not doing only the exercise properly. No, I told you do the exercise one number, one alphabet. One number, one alphabet. 1 minute. See that? It will take longer time and more than time, mind keeps on switching. Na? That's called executive control and filtering capacity. In psychology, that's what it is. They will tell you that the person who does multitasking, the filtering capacity, which is executive control, that becomes lesser. Because when I am doing one thing at a time, the mind blocks out everything else so that it can focus. When I am doing two things at a time, the mind doesn't know what to block and what not to block. And in making a right decision, it is very important to eliminate the factors which are not required. Then only I can zero in on what is required. People who do multitasking, they feel that they are very efficient, but in the long run, they create more stress for themselves. They have more indecision in life, and most importantly, spiritually, to be at peace, to bring the mind to stillness, very tough. Because the mind is trained habitually to do more than one thing at a time. As a lifestyle, this multitasking should not be there. Now and then I may have to do, that's a different thing that all of us have a capacity we can manage. But today it has become a lifestyle because we are pushed by so many desires, I have so many things to do and less time. That's the reason why I have stress. I should do one thing at a time. And you will see that those who do one thing at a time will achieve what they want to achieve. It is not that they will be left behind. They will achieve what they want to achieve. Hence, one must find out what are the things that I am doing simultaneously, which are my lifestyle now. We don't even realize that now, but we do like this example. No? While eating, we are watching television. While driving, we are talking on phone. While doing exercise, I put on my iPod. So many things we do like that. Notifications on the computer, my God, how much distraction. One is typing something and then suddenly one email notification will come, one chat window will be open, and then somebody will send some another SMS will come constantly. So I'm not able to do one thing at a time. And today it is very important that people are able to disconnect. Because too much connection we are doing now. And from all sides we are getting bombarded. So the attention keeps on getting divided. So sometime in a day I must be able to take off. Just see this particular video which will tell you that how they say that multitasking now is a myth. Hey,
Vendor company. Oh, no, look at that. Your invoice number, uh, hello? Hello, hey, God, what's up? Yeah, just want to go online. Did you hold on for it? Vendor company. Why did I need that report? Yes, sir, I'm just finishing it now. Yeah. Why did I need that report? Dog gotta go. Miss Cat. Miss Cat. Miss Cat. Why?
The fact is, multitasking is a myth. Our brains can't do it. You simply become less efficient and more distracted. Your error rate goes up 50%, and it takes you twice as long to do the same task. Listen to what Tim Jenkins has to say. He's the co-founder of Point B, a leading business consulting firm.
Well, I think there's a fallacy out there that the folks that can multitask are more effective. There are times when it's just important to focus on one thing. I think we also need to give people permission to check out of the communications network temporarily to get things done. Because when you're always on, when you're always online, you're always distracted. Right? And the brain world is telling us that that is a very unproductive mode to be in. And so the always online organization is actually the always unproductive organization.
It's a very small clip. There are many research aspects now available to tell you that how this multitasking is a big myth. And one should just be aware of that in a day, how much multitasking am I doing? Reduce it. Which simple task? The slide, right? Did I close it? Not multitasking. This windows are so many open. Need to close because the screen is very small. This one? Yeah. These are some things that I can just do without multitasking. Just eat while you eat. Especially there's a whole book on mindful eating. One full book, such a fat book on only eating mindfully. A Buddhist monk has written that. And, nice tips in that. So some of these aspects about multitasking, one should be very clear.
Gradually the work becomes excellent. Excellent work shall produce excellent results. We cheat ourselves from our successes by our unintelligent dissipation of the mind in our over-anxiety for the fruits thereof. Krishna is giving a tip to us. Here is a wonderful thing for you to achieve. And in achieving, giving a tip to others. Here is a wonderful thing for you to achieve. And in achieving, do your journey. Find out about it. Let every arrow go and hit the point that you want. Don't worry about the future. Don't evaluate that their army is larger than our army. Don't dissipate and distract your mind. Your mind becomes your anxiety must be exited. Is that okay? Learn to work thus with your mind where your hands are left. We don't do it. We work with our hand, our mind is wandering all over. So the hand that is working is a mindless hand. Mindless hand that cannot afford to expect any great results. Hey, keep your mind where your hands are on. Be here now and that. We are never here. We are everywhere but not here. Either we are wandering in the past. I should not have done it. I don't know why I did it. Or you are in the future. These are intentions of nature. You are never here and now. Learn to be here and now. Bring all your mind and your attention in the presence. There where the hand is doing a job. The performance will become excellent. Excellent performance will always give you excellent results. Here's a tip for how to achieve excellent results for your life. Continue.
So one thing at a time, very, very important. Then only in meditation also one thing at a time will happen. And it's up to us to be convinced about this and then to start practicing. Learn to do one thing at a time. So it is about eating also, mindful eating. Even those who want to lose weight, they always suggest that do this mindful eating. Because we are not aware, we are mindlessly eating more than what the body even needs. We don't reach the satisfaction point faster. We are not aware only that the body has had enough. I'm just eating. So in mindful eating, they say that be aware, savor what you are eating, without any judgment of this is good, this is bad, I like this, I don't like this. Eat that food. And in that moment when you are there, in our culture it is always said sit down and eat. This buffet system is not in our culture. One reason is very simple. When I am standing, my entire energies and the body balance has to be maintained. Plus the blood flow has to be there on the feet. When I am sitting, it is available. Just fully for the stomach. And we eat like that. So the person is sitting erect and the food one is eating like that. Sitting down. So sit and eat and turn down all the other distractions. Maximum is one can sit with a family, have a nice time, speak to each other and eat. And most important is observe your body. In our culture, food is called as medicine. Even Shankaracharya ji called it as medicine. In Sadhana Panchakam he says, Shudvyadischa chikitsyatam Pratidinam bhikshaushadam bhujyatam. Eat food which is medicine to quench to appease the disease called hunger. So food, if I eat well, I know what suits my body, what doesn't suit my body. A lot of healing can happen just by food only. A lot of disease can be avoided just by becoming aware of what is happening to my body when I eat something. So mindful eating is very, very powerful. And there are 7 practices of a mindful eater. Always start with silence, prayer and gratitude. The mind, when it is quieter, will eat lesser, and also that mind will be more happy with that food. Engage all the 6 senses. So eating is not only with hand and the mouth. Today many people know that. That's why they do so much of dressing and this and that. Because visually, how the food is looking, that will create more, it will secrete more of this saliva and digestive juices. Seeing, touching, smelling, all senses, and including the mind, which is the 6th one. How much am I enjoying moment by moment that same food? Use smaller utensils and serve moderately. That is another method. The bigger utensils we have, the more we take, more we eat also and more we waste also. Savor smaller bites and chew thoroughly. Most important is the chewing. Nowadays, how much we chew? We are not even focused on the eating. We are just grabbing something and putting in the mouth and doing some driving and going here and doing something. Constantly the mind is in a flux. So we are not aware, and then we have all kinds of problems, digestion problem, this problem, that problem, everything. Now I remember one thing here specifically, that about 6 years ago, somewhere around 2009, I had been to Kolkata and to Sarla Billaji's place. My God, how she used to chew even at that age. Dry fruit she used to eat. Thoroughly, fully she will chew it. So what she is eating is very less, but how much chewing is happening in that? I haven't seen somebody eating so, consciously. She will ensure that it is at least chewed 32 times before it is swallowed. So chew thoroughly. Half the digestion, all of us know, happens in the mouth only. Because if it goes below this, nothing can be done. Keep away all the distractions and you will watch this. If you do this, you will see how easy it becomes. One is that food gets over faster. It takes only 5-7 minutes to eat, maximum 10 minutes. But we are eating with television, it goes on. 20 minutes, 30 minutes, quantity also one is increasing, satisfaction is not there. And definitely don't skip meals. Nowadays they are saying that 6 meals a day. Very soon they will come to 8 meals a day. Krishna Bhagavan used to eat 8 meals a day. And that's why they often offer chappan bhog to him. Why? Because 7 days he held a Govardhan mountain on his little finger and he didn't eat food. So all the villagers said that you are eating 8 times a day, 7 meals you didn't eat, 7 days you didn't eat. So we will make 56 items in your honor and we will offer it. Chappan bhog. So small meals and no skipping the meals. And definitely eat a plant-based and a healthy diet. What that food does to me, I should be sensitive to that, and what that food does to the bee. When I eat non-vegetarian and all that, where there is no choice, it's a whole different matter. That we have choices, and how much sensitivity can we apply is much more better we are as human beings. So more about this mindfulness, I think today we will have to stop here. So our last session is next Monday. So we will spend the time in finishing this part about mindfulness. Maybe some other time we will do stillness part. And if we have time, we will do a method of stillness also. So, till now what we have discussed, any questions in that? See, the observing mind doesn't do anything. Observing mind is going to just observe. Whether you are focused, whether you are distracted, whether the mind has slipped, whether the mind has, it will only observe, it will do nothing. But the knowledge that you have, that you should be mindful, will make you come back to it, to what you are doing. That's the effort of that mind. The observer in us does nothing, only observes. Like the light will do nothing. Whether people are there or not there, the light will only illuminate. It doesn't do anything. Whether people are doing a lot of activity, whether people are quiet, whether people go away, light does nothing. Same way the observer in us does nothing. And because we are not mindful, we are not even aware of that observer in us. So the person who is learning to become more mindful is increasing that capacity of the mind to come back even in spite of distraction to this present moment. And yes, it is an effort to do that, because if one has trained oneself for many years in this way of life where I am not in the present, then it will appear as a lot of effort to come back into the present. That's why one starts small. But very soon it will become your nature, that you will feel uncomfortable when you are not in the present. Today I am feeling uncomfortable to bring the mind into the present, and wandering is easy. But as I practice, I will be fully here and now.
Something what happens when you get emotional about the situation? How do
Your mind will observe it. So when you observe it, you will know the causes why have I become emotional, and also why I am not feeding it constantly. Because now one part of me is just watching it. So even if I am feeding it, the mind which is watching is telling me that why are you doing this? So you yourself can stop that feeding. Anger and emotion, when it arises, it overwhelms me. The more I fuel it, the more it keeps on going beyond my control. So mindfulness will increase that awareness of mind, and it will bring a control automatically. And anything else I need to do, I will myself become aware. Because mindfulness will reveal the deeper causes why I am getting emotionally so overwhelmed.
I get a point about being in the present, but are there enough times where being in the present with the correlation to the past or thinking of the future may even enhance the experience of the present?
So nobody says don't learn the lesson from the past or plan for the future. But how much time do we do that? Majority of the time we are either in regret of the past or anxious about the future or worrying about it, which is unproductive thinking. Thus the mind is gone.
Yeah, but then you're assuming that all the things of the past are regret or all the things of the future are.
Not all. That's what I'm saying. When I'm putting my mind consciously into learning the lessons of the past and not wanting to repeat those, even if I'm recollecting a memory that okay, last Monday we did not have a class, just a recollection of a memory, which has nothing to spoil my present moment. Only those moments where I am lost in the past, those are the things where I have lost touch with the present moment, which is what we have to avoid. Functionally going into the past, coming back into the present, thinking about the future, coming back into the present, no problem. That is fine. That anyway we will all do.
Even within the inner conflict, this way of being yourself, that I did that, I did that, and so on. Which mind is talking to which?
Your intellect is talking to your mind. Your logical mind, your rational mind, which we call as intellect, is telling your emotional mind. Observer is observing this.
Said right act, 27 right words. So we could say right 30 seconds each for both of these. But when you don't both, we took 1 minute, so both are the same.
No, it is not. When you write 1 to 27, after that you write multitasking is the greatest myth. Together you will take only 30 seconds. And when you do one number, one alphabet, one number, one alphabet, in that sequence you finish both these, you will definitely take more than 50 seconds to do it. And more than the time, the switching between the number, alphabet, that is very strenuous. which is what happens to us. There are only 6% of the people in the world who are called supertaskers, whose brain is made to focus exclusively on two things with full attention. Only 6% of people. Majority of the people's brain is made only to do one thing at a time. And so even if they are doing multitasking, actually they are shifting between two tasks. And that shifting is what creates a lot of stress. Takes away our energies and time. Somebody else had a question here.
What is the reason of the mind being in the wandering state? And actually, we're not trained to be that. But why not be in the mindful state? Are we has a tendency to go back to the wandering state more instead of being in the mindful state?
Because one is that we have not been taught to be mindful. Second is we are led more by emotion. And the emotion leads us back and forth. 55% of our thoughts are what we have thought yesterday. We just carry it forward every day. Which is what we call as attachment to those thoughts, memories, emotions, feelings. So we keep going there. And yes, our desires, new desires, make us go into the past or future.
Isn't that part of the mind itself?
It is a part of the mind, no doubt, and desires are also natural, there is no problem in that. But a lot of dependency is there on that only when this happens, then I will be happy. That dependency makes the mind anxious, and the dependency takes it away from the present. If desire is there but dependency is not there, then that kind of a desire doesn't create any problem to us. But the desire which creates dependency is the desire which makes the mind go away from the now. So if I say that only when I get this particular job I will be happy, when I get this amount of money I will be happy, constantly the mind is anxious till it gets there. And so it will constantly be in the past or future. It will keep going. But if I have that goal and I don't have dependency on it, I work hard, but inside I am secured within myself. With or without that, I am happy as I am, or I am grounded in myself. Then the mind doesn't go back and forth. Okay, so next Monday will be our last session, 4th May. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We have a corporate event in June and we have given you the information of that. So Mr. Ajay Piramal, Mr. Gopal Krishnan and myself, 3 of us are doing this on 6th June. It is on Success and Beyond. So you are welcome, and this is mainly for mid-level and senior level management. So if you are able to encourage anybody else also, please do encourage.